is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart, and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted This 40, all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
I got my first.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Today's show, Super Bowl Sunday, just ahead, the Olympic Games on. Pitchers and catchers report next week. And you want to talk about the Oilers coaching staff. My goodness, you've come to the right place. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we're live on YouTube and Sports 1440 AM. We're online all the time at iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcasts are thrilled to house us, and we appreciate them. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at Jay Fenwick, and Mac with a K, McLennan as well. Our guest today, Steve Lansky, will join us. We'll also have declinations. We'll talk about that in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. We will get into the Olympics. We will get into the Super Bowl. We will definitely talk about the Edmonton Oilers and NBA and so much more. First of all, it's time for the introductions. She is a Swiftie. Hasn't fallen asleep one time during this show. So that's one person on this show who hasn't, and is taking her new nickname, Big Mike, with good humor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mackenzie McLennan. Mackenzie, how are you?
I'm good. It's Friday. Can't complain.
Yeah. Are you looking for what event, because there's a lot, what event or events are you looking forward to most this weekend?
Probably the snowboarding. I watched the qualifiers last night.
Right.
And figure skating. Team Canada is in 5th right now, which was a big deal. I don't know if they were super good going into it. And then I'll watch some skiing as well. Okay. I've been watching figure skating since Taller Cranston and Karen Magnuson. So I always get into that. It's one of my favorite events. He derails the show often, but it's mostly about sports. We haven't had any Brad Pitt explosion episodic events in weeks. So I think he's okay. He is the one, by the way, who came up with the nickname Big Mike. So there's that. He's a team builder. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick.
Different tangents every week. The people seem to enjoy it. So I'm
yesterday it was Carmelo Anthony.
Declan also veered off in that way.
Well,
but
you baited him. It was
I did not bait him. You baited both of us.
Yes,
How
I
dare
did.
you?
Yes, I did. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Boy, did I.
Brad Pitt, still elite.
Okay, so what's your favorite event that you're looking forward to this weekend? It could be anything.
I don't know. I don't even know what really starts this weekend. Does team curling start this weekend? Does anybody know? All right. Big Mike over here is going to look it up for me.
All right.
But that's the one I'm most looking forward to.
I can't pick on him right now because Jimmy Butler is out for the season and college football is months away. He's keeping it real, though, and he's more positive than I thought he'd be. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
Yep. Great episode of Elk Central this morning.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Cordell Jackson.
You're a rock and roll out there, man. You're doing so well. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I know you wouldn't screw it up, but I didn't think you'd take it to the heights you've already taken to. That's must tune in. That really is.
I might screw it up, though. That's the other thing.
No. Hey, did you tweet out the show promo that I didn't retweet at all?
I definitely typed out. I tweeted it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm reposting it now. I just want to make sure my hair looks okay. What event are you looking forward to? It looks like hell. What event are you looking forward to most?
That's a good question, isn't it? Obviously I think hockey is kind of the main one around here, and there is just that sense of national pride where, like, I said this, if Finland wins or if Sweden wins, If Germany wins, they won't. But if they did, that'd be amazing. It's just you just don't want to see the States win, is really what it kind of comes down to for me. Aside from that, I'm definitely much more of a Summer Olympics guy. But ever since, I believe his name, it was Alexander something.
Oh, yes.
In the 2010 Vancouver Olympics.
Alexander something, we know. You mean Alex
Mac has the
Vancouver?
name.
Bilodeau.
Right. When he won the first gold at Vancouver in 2010 on the moguls, it's been a must-watch event.
So that's what you want to do.
I don't know if it's what I want to do, but I'm happy to watch.
Well, no, but what are you going to tune into? Like I'm sure there's some spring football game on the Big Ten channel for football if you wanted to watch it.
No, not quite yet. But we do have, the biggest football game, so I'll be watching that.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about Olympic events.
What event would you most like to see this weekend?
So it didn't have to be the one out in Italy?
Take me now, Jesus. Honestly, this is the time.
Stop. Because you said event. Event is very centered around Olympics, and they both answered Olympics and didn't get any pushback.
So the Super Bowl isn't an event?
Well, it certainly is. It's probably like the biggest event.
Sir,
but I was under the impression,
I believe
or wrong,
you are incorrect in your assumption.
Well, I want to change my answer to the Super Bowl.
Thank you very much. Right. Painful. No, it's a great group. We love you all. You're fantastic young people. I'm going to be asking you several questions in the next few minutes, so I need you to pay very close attention. Lansky is our guest. The Olympic Games are such a treat and a thrill. I remember when I was just a little kid, Nancy Green was the most popular individual in Canada, even more popular than the Flag Expo, that Bobby Jimby song called Canada that I heard every 11 seconds. Nancy Green ruled the day. When I became sort of aware of sports and things that one could take pride in that represented their country. And very quickly went to the 1972 Canada-Russia series. And then, there was Montreal Expos I was very proud of because they're Canadian, and the Jays. But the Olympics are unique. And I think that the Calgary Olympics, in a lot of ways, brought us to a new level in terms of enjoying the Olympic Games. And then there was Vancouver. But after the Calgary Games, my feeling was it was taken more seriously. NHL players could get involved later on. And at some point in time, it became so impactful you couldn't miss it, even if it was Katrina Lemay-Doan skating at 3 a.m. at your house, or Sandra Schmerler, the curler, playing at 4 a.m. You had to be there. You had to do that, right? And fortunately, we have Steve Lansky coming up at 1 o'clock, and he's the same way, except that he really remembers this stuff. I only remember, certain things like the Sid the Kid goal, or Beverly Boys, or all the figure skaters. Oh my God! Over the years, many of them trained and were from around here. But it's been a sweet ride, and I'm looking forward to stars being born and stars continuing their legacy at the Olympics. And I'm also looking forward to the Super Bowl. I like Super Bowls where the Eagles aren't in them because I can relax and just enjoy myself. And I can eat nachos and have a beer or whatever the case may be. And that's what I will do. And my first question for you three jokers, last time we did this, I asked who's going to win the Super Bowl, and all three of you, as I recall, said Seahawks. So I'm just checking to make sure. It's going to be the most boring conversation in the world if you all agree. Does everybody have the Seahawks for the Super Bowl victory?
I have the Seahawks. Seahawks by 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I have them by 1 million. I've been trying to talk myself into the Patriots a little bit. Drake May was my MVP this year. I just don't see it.
They're a year away, right? If they do it again next year, you'd be more likely to bet on them to win it.
No, I don't even know. Like, it's just a matchup thing. I don't even know. Like, because they're ahead of schedule, so I don't even know if. Like, I don't even know if you can say it's a year away thing. Like, they're already where they, where you try to get. It's just like it's a matchup thing. Seattle has a great defense. They scheme things very well. It's a young quarterback. They have a quarterback themselves, and Sam Darnold, who like historically had been thought of as a failure and as a shrinker, and has kind of risen up and like close to 350 yards against the Rams. Unreal, great season. JSN is going to hit 2,000 yards at some point in this game, we think. Like, it's just a really tough matchup for that Patriots team.
So, fun little stat from I don't know where this came from, but I saw it on Twitter. Passer rating leader of the season versus the number one scoring defense in the Super Bowl. The last one to do it was Matt Ryan against the Patriots. Lost, obviously. Jim Kelly against the Giants. Lost. Dan Marino. Lost. Roger Staubach. Lost. There's one more in there. Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
He won 55-10. Every other time has been a loss. Drake May is now in the same predicament. I think that it basically spells out to me that, yeah, this is a win. I know that the Falcons were leading at one point, but at the end of the day, Tom Brady came to life and the Falcons lost.
Before we move on to the next subject, we will give young Mackenzie an opportunity to confirm that she is taking the Seahawks.
I'm also taking the Seahawks. It's a little boring, but
no, but I mean, it's that much of a,
good story with Sam Darnold too.
Well, and it's also in a lot of ways, it's Edmonton's team. We get cable from down there. There's about 3 Buffalo Bill fans in the city of Edmonton. They're not a very popular team. Okay, nothing there. I thought maybe I could get somebody started, but apparently not.
Evidently not.
Well, I thought you were going to say there's 3 Buffalo Bills fans back here, and I was like, man, he messed up Josh's favorite team again.
No, Josh is a Bengals fan, which means he and I could work together for 100 years, and we'd never be able to say things like, hey, you like the Bengals in the Super Bowl? Let's move on to pitchers and catchers, Major Leagues of Baseball, starting next week. Framber Valdez finally signed, and with the Detroit Tigers, that's a mystery wrapped in a riddle. There were rumors the Jays were interested, but another question for all 3 of you.
Oh boy!
After the World Series loss against the Los Angeles Dodgers and the events that occurred, a lot of players have emerged. They didn't have to do a lot because guys like Addison Barger and Trey Savage and others have clearly stepped up and are going to be a part of this year's team. Are you more or less exuberant, buoyed by the Toronto Blue Jays this year? Are you really looking forward to it? It's like, meh, call me in October.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. More than usual? More than last year?
Yeah. Do you know what the Ewing theory is?
That Patrick Ewing went to New York because they cheated?
No.
Well, that did happen.
That did happen. But the Ewing theory, so in 1999, the NBA had a lockout, short season. The Knicks went all the way to the finals. They were the 8th seed. Patrick Ewing got hurt that year. And for whatever reason, the Knicks became a better team. So the Ewing theory is that you lose your best player and somehow your team only gets better because it makes way for more people. That's what I think is happening to the Blue Jays right now with Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette is gone. There's more opportunity for other guys to sort of just show up and show out. And that's what I think happened. I think they got better by subtraction.
Yeah, well, I mean, it worked like that. And they lead the league in contact hitters and they've got power, but they don't strike out as much and they get on base. And I like their style of team. It's kind of old-timey, and I like that.
Old-timey, defensive, grit and grind, whatever, make contact with the ball. Also, like, Bo Bichette wasn't a part of the team until the World Series. Yeah. And they did just fine.
They did. Buck Martinez retired today. Buck Martinez, famous for a lot of things. He was a catcher, and I believe it was when he's Kansas City. He blocked the plate and tagged out 2 runners with a broken leg. He was prone on the ground. He couldn't move, but the dumbasses who were running the bases ran close enough for him to tag them out, and he became a legend that way. And he was a very good platoon catcher with Ernie Witt, who's coaching Canada at the World Baseball Championships coming up. And then he got into broadcasting, and he was very good. He ended up being a manager and other things afterwards, but he got into broadcasting and was very good at it, and he did it for many years. And I think that's going to be an adjustment for Jays fans this year. Not since the days of Tony Kubek have we kind of missed an on-air television commentator. Kubek was excellent. Buck did a great job, and then he became the play-by-play guy. My lingering memory of Buck Martinez will be something that happened a few years ago. It was my son walked into the room, not a baseball fan, walked into the room, listened for a minute, stopped, looked at me, heard Buck's voice, listened closely, and said to me, what is Chief Wiggum doing broadcasting a baseball game? And I've never been able to get that out of my head since then, which is unfair to Buck Martinez, especially on the day he's retiring and everybody's giving him accolades. But
That's so funny.
I always appreciated Buck Martinez because he didn't try to not be a homer. You know what I mean by that? Ken Hawk Harrelson was the Chicago White Sox, was the worst homer ever, but he never tried to not be that. And Buck was the same way. And I think that once you step over that boundary and you go ball, go, then you are a fan with the fans, and that's okay. It's not a national broadcast, and it's okay. The fans love it. They embrace that. And Buck Martinez, I think with the possible exception of Jerry Howarth, would be considered the most beloved broadcaster in Blue Jays history. Just my opinion. And then that puts him with, Dave Van Horn of the Montreal Expos back in the day. So Buck Martinez will miss you, and that's a fact. I'm going to be talking later today about the Bakersfield Condors. This is an opportunity for us to look a little deeper into the organization. And I'm going to give you a list of 5 Bakersfield Condors who should be recalled or could be recalled in the second half of the year. They're not all forwards, but they're all good. So 5 Bakersfield Condors. Look forward to hearing that or not coming up. Just before I ask you about declinations, I do want to say that I asked you all what you were most looking forward to this weekend, and you told me, and I appreciate it. But there is something about to happen for hockey fans and maybe more importantly, hockey players who have come to the NHL since the year 2014. These are young men who are as brilliant as their previous generations were and who had not had an opportunity to play in the Olympics. So for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and everybody who didn't get a chance, this is a wonderful opportunity. And I hope they play to the highest levels. I hope they don't get hurt, but I hope that they have the success they're dreaming of, and I hope they get to play many Olympic Games for years to come. This world has gotten itself into a whole lot of trouble by doing things that are sort of counter to what the world that we knew decades ago. And the Olympics represents, I think, the best of us. Not the way it is now, but the idea of the Olympics. You send your best. You have pride in your country. You watch brilliant players do their best on the international stage against every other country's best. And it gives an opportunity for the country that hosts it to showcase what they have that is beautiful and courageous and grand. And I celebrate the Olympics. And I think that the Olympics could teach us a few things about how we would like to live our lives together, no matter what border we live under. Okay. What's coming up on declinations today at 12:40?
Yeah, sorry. I also just want to apologize quickly. I exhaled there, like during your monologue, and my mic was on, so that might have gone through.
So then people knew you were bored when I was talking.
So that's the thing. Like, it's perceived that I'm kind of like, can we get through this?
Here comes the old man again.
But yeah, I just exhaled. My bad about that. Turned my mic off right afterwards.
Not to worry. It's part of the. Everybody knows how you feel now, so it's a thing.
No Super Bowl prop bets.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Big game this weekend. Exciting stuff.
If you were a tree, what tree would you be? That kind of thing?
Is that a reference to something?
Years and years ago.
Was that I Love Lucy?
No, years and years ago, NFL Media Week, somebody said, if you were a tree, what tree would you be?
That was one of the questions?
Yeah, years and years ago.
How about this? One of the questions Mike Vrabel was asked was, is this a must-win game? It's only the Super Bowl. So...
Oh my God.
All timer. Right
and people think media folks don't have a sense of humor. Come on now. All right. Rumors on the way. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Friday night calls for family fun that's second to none, starting with a big party. And tonight at Rogers Place, it's the Oil Kings mascot Louie's birthday bash, presented by Bloom Benefits. Edmonton faces the Moose Jaw Warriors. Local mascots will be in the house for Louie's big day, and every fan in attendance gets a card for their chance to win a fun Louie prize. Plus, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is lion-sized. Oil Kings, Warriors, Louie's birthday bash, tonight at 7. Great family entertainment starts at just $20 a seat. Tickets and more at oilkings.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Whoa. It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Nothing like the Clash on a Friday. It's an old Bobby Fuller 4 classic from before any of you except me was born. But you didn't know that. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. It's time for Rumors, presented by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. My learned friends, Declan and Josh, are going to be coming up with the 5 best Super Bowl prop bets at 12:40 today. And Mackenzie wanted to take part. They wouldn't let her, and I think that's a shame. Can't believe you guys did that. Do you have any response to that?
Fake news.
No, that's the show. You two do it. I'm just being a jerk. Surely you see that.
I'm actually blind.
We should get her to do something, though. Like, is she going to be around for a few weeks?
No idea.
We don't know?
No idea what the schedule is.
Is she here? She's gone?
I don't think one really
I thought you were the
exists.
one that made the schedule up. Because she
No.
actually does have a schedule.
I would have liked to.
I don't make up the schedule.
She actually does have a schedule.
Okay.
She has it saved on her phone.
All right.
That is
What were you
tremendous
doing
news.
looking at her phone?
She's the one that told me because
Oh.
I said, "Oh, when are we going to teach you how to do the stream?" And Brandon looked at me and said, "Oh, she has a schedule. I have a schedule too, but I don't remember what it is, but she has it on her phone. She knows." I'm like, "Okay. Whatever you say." Right now she's just producing content with the Duke and the Con Man as we speak, which you might be forced to be a part of.
Why?
Because at New World Order, pal.
Well, but changing Lowetide's schedule.
No.
is
We're not
just-
changing your
I'm gonna be
schedule. She's just
wandering-
going to put a camera in your face.
I'm a sundowner.
For like 5 seconds, and you just have to answer a question, and that's
I don't
it.
want to answer a question.
That is too bad.
I refuse. I take the 5th.
That's too bad.
No Fifth Amendment in Canada.
Just saying. I don't have opinions. I just ask questions.
That's too bad. Looks like today you get to answer one.
Was it a hard question?
No.
Why would I have any idea what the answer is?
Because it is a subjective question.
See, I have not qualified.
That's Josh yelling at Lowetide for all the listeners getting mad, by the way.
That's Josh, by the way.
I know you guys like to
Are
mess
people
that
getting
one
mad at Declan because he's yelling at me? Is
No,
that
they
what's
probably will, though.
I haven't checked
Declan,
the
how can
text
you
line.
berate that old
Yeah.
man? Isn't it elder abuse?
Every now and then we'll get a text into the show, be like, Connor, what are you talking about?
Oh my God, I love
Connor
it.
hasn't been with Lowetide for 9 years.
See, that's just funny because like they know you're on the show, so they just don't know who's back here because I don't have a camera on me, so it doesn't.
Here's what they're doing.
Working in
I guarantee
animosity.
it. I've listened to a lot of radio in my life, and you don't sound similar once you are used to the nuance and the pace and the cadence of your delivery. But until you listen to each of you enough, you do sound similar. It's exactly what happened to Tata Yaramchuk and Matt, whatever his name is, Iwanek.
Great to know he left an impression. But my
Iwanek
thing
is a dear man. I love him dearly.
No, I love him.
He was there for me at the worst time of my life. He and Dave.
I couldn't agree more. I love Matty a lot.
Never say a bad word about him.
Here's my question. Do me and Josh really sound that alike?
You do because you're young. You got to understand. You have a similar
that's
register.
Insane. That makes me more mad than the Carmelo thing.
You have a similar register. You are the tone is the same, and some of the cadence is just because you're Canadians and you grew up in the same part of the country and all of those things. So you don't you could forcibly talk in a higher register, like Nicolas Cage did during Peggy Sue Got Married, or you have to wait for the listener to become used to your voice, and it does happen, but it takes a while.
Declan's been working with you for 2.5 years. They should know his voice by now.
I know his voice. I know both of your voices. But having said that, if we were to punt you off the show, nobody would be confused.
Nobody would be confused. This is true. So if you want me off the show, we'll put Big Mike over here.
Do you know why we have you on the show? Because you have real value.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Same for me. If you guys want me off the show,
no.
Let me know.
Look,
cry.
Then we'll put Big Mike over there.
I would cry, but
this is a perfect way of introducing the next host of this show.
What if you got punted off this show to go and host a different show on the station, like you and Brandon were doing the morning show?
Now we're talking.
If you guys had watched WKRP in Cincinnati, you know the next step is for me to work midnight to 6 as heavy early. That's how it works.
This convo has mad perks of being a wallflower vibes. Let's talk a little sports.
Sports.
I understood none of that, but he's right. We should talk a little sports. So everybody thinks Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl. What country do you believe is going to win the men's and the women's ice hockey at the Olympics?
Canada and Canada.
So I'm totally on board with Canada winning on the women's side going away, but the American women's team, you have to give them a lot of credit as well, and have done very well in exhibition matches. The men's side, I definitely think Canada is the favorite. I think the talent is there. I don't want to kind of predispose and build in an excuse that they can only beat themselves, but I kind of feel like if they're going at the top of their game and every other team is going at the top of their game as well, there's no reason Canada shouldn't take home gold on both sides of those brackets.
I just think the story, if I'm not going to write about the Olympics for the next while, but if I were going to write a story for The Athletic, the story would be what it might mean to Connor McDavid and any player of his generation. They didn't miss out on the opportunity to win the Olympics because of their own abilities. They missed out on the opportunity to play the Olympics because it was not made available to them. And this is why it's such a major event, specifically for the hockey players. And I think that in the light of where the world is today, this particular games, I think can shine a light on goodness and why we celebrate greatness in athletes and music and pageantry, which we're currently watching. So for me, I think that this is a great, 2 weeks and a half, a little bit?
Yeah, let's just say 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then we can get back to fighting about whether or not the Oilers should make a coaching change. And by the way, yesterday I said that it was a bad idea to change coaches, and that hasn't happened yet. It may. But I want to reiterate, people were coming at me a little bit about what are you talking about? Do you watch the games? Yes, I do. And I know that because I watched a lot of sports and I've observed sports over many years. It's a 12-month calendar in a year. If you're going to replace a coach, any coach, head coach or assistant, you need to have somebody in mind. So if they want to bring in Paul Coffey, that's fine. Or if they want to bring in Craig McTavish, I think that would be a good idea to help on the 5-on-5. He just knew it backwards. He really was an exceptional even strength coach. And you can call me wrong on it. I'm not. They really got a lot out of that team even before Pronger got here. And that's the truth. But changing midstream when it wasn't a subject matter, like you can say the time to replace Chris Knobloch is if it goes bad this year and they end up in the ditch, and let's say they don't make the playoffs or they lose in the first round, and then they start next fall, they start slowly again. That's when he would be replaced. Because has his contract kicked in at all?
Whose contract? I was reading Keegan Matheson's article on Buck Martinez retiring.
Well, I know. It's important that you read that. Chris Knobloch, do we know when his contract is?
I think it kicks in next year.
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea that the general manager is going to go to Daryl Cates and say, I know we contract we signed him to hasn't started yet, but we got to let him go. That's not a comfortable situation. Now, if the owner says get rid of him, well, then you have no choice. But I think that the idea is not really applicable to this moment. It might be in the summer if they really disappoint in the playoffs, but even then, I can't see it. It's at the very earliest a next year deal. And I understand that you're mad, but you've got to understand. I sit here every day, and you get mad at lots of people. You were mad at Stuart Skinner, and now he's gone, and the team still has problems in net. And you tell me that now too. So, like, what is it? Like, what will make you happy? I know it's a Stanley Cup, but they're really hard to win. And this incarnation of the Edmonton Oilers may not win. So I think like when you make sweeping statements like they better fire the coach, then what you're passing through is a lot of logic and reason. And I think you could say if this team continues to slide for the rest of the season, has a quick playoff exit, then the heat will very much be on Chris Knobloch in the fall. And maybe they replace him, but I don't think they will. I think they would require a poor performance next year, at least for a time, as was the case with Jay Woodcroft. Although Woodcroft had them actually coming out of it when he was let go. A lot of guys are winning arbitration cases in the major leagues of baseball. Graham Ashcraft won. We know Tarek Skubal won. Edwin Ucita won his with the Rays. And the Dodgers have claimed a catcher named Ben Rortvedt. I can never say his name right, but he's a really good defensive catcher. And the Dodgers didn't have everything, but now they have a great defensive catcher. They now have actually everything. So there you go. What are the odds? I'll ask you this, Josh Fenwick, because you are named Fenwick, and I know your dad loves baseball. I suspect you do as well. Okay. What are the odds that Skubal gets traded by mid-season 2026?
See, now that's a wonderful question. I would say pretty good. You and I sat here yesterday and talking about it. They're paying $38,000 to Framber Valdez.
38 million.
They're paying him a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they've now lost this arbitration case after offering Tariq Skubal like $19 million a year or whatever. I can imagine the guy sitting in arbitration was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, yeah, guess what? You lose. Right as it started, he was like, all right, you can present your case, but I just want you to know you're literally not swaying this in any direction except for you lose even harder. So I think he's gone. The real question is, where does he end up? Probably the Dodgers, let's be honest. But hey, you know what? There's other teams out there. Maybe the Marlins are like, well, why don't we just take this rental of Tariq Skubal and rock on? But I think good. I think he'll be gone.
All right, final one, and then we're going to get to declinations because I'm really interested in what you're talking about with the top 5 prop bets for the Super Bowl. The Eagles are making some changes in their offensive coaching staff. New coordinator, Sean Mannion. Packers wide receiver coach Ryan Mahaffrey is coming over to Philadelphia as the new run game coordinator. Jeff Stoutland's taking the year off, apparently. How do we feel about this? As an Eagles fan, I don't want change necessarily, but is this good, bad, or indifferent?
I think Declan's going to have to answer this one.
Oh, well, I mean, like, it's kind of like you said, right? Like, Howie's always a guy who makes the right moves within his organization and within his staffs. And I just think it's a guy who does his due diligence. And yeah, change is always scary, for lack of a better,
especially when you get older.
Uncomfortable is, but like, this is a team, and I've kind of said this, like, this is a team who I believe has a roster constructed to be in 5 Super Bowls and win 3 of them, right? And when you have kind of, and I'm not saying this is like an attack on the Eagles or an attack on Eagles fans, but I think most people would agree this was kind of an underwhelming season, unfulfilling, at the very minimum. And so when you have a chance,
this from a Bills fan,
well, I mean, it's been failure as a Bills fan, but like as an Eagles fan, is losing in the playoffs the way they did.
Honestly, this sounds so awful, and I don't want it to be. But they won the Super Bowl 2 years, like last year. So
yeah, but okay, so like, all right, keep the staff
it.
The exact same way it is, and just lose in the playoffs every year. I don't know. Like, this is a team
that's not what I said. This year, it was just like it's still a honeymoon.
Yeah,
winning the Super Bowl is really damn hard.
It is. It absolutely is, and you'll always have that. But there are some teams who are built to win 1 Super Bowl. And there are some teams who are constructed to win 5. And I think the Eagles are in the latter. And when they don't, like, no one actually thought the Eagles could compete for a Super Bowl this year once we got to the playoffs. And that's the biggest problem. I think that's why change needs to be addressed.
That's very fair. Sonny Jurgensen, by the way, passed away. Famous quarterback for various teams, including Philadelphia and Washington. Okay. So tease it again. One more time. Top 5.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say it. My fault. Top 5 Super Bowl prop bets.
There you go.
And I got one that I think is like a surefire hitter. We're going to make everyone rich.
Is this like length of the anthem or?
You know what? So I actually couldn't find that.
I couldn't find the odds either. I'm very upset by this.
Because if it's Mariah Carey singing it,
over.
Take the over. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Rooter gets a colonoscopy. All right, Mr. Rooter, just relax. We're almost finished.
Now, what am I looking at on the screen?
That's your large intestine.
Wow, the pipes of the human body. Incredible. This is just like when we use a camera for sewer inspection, except you probably don't find tree roots.
You'd be surprised what we find.
Once I found a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Hey, me too.
For a plumber who values healthy pipes, call Mr. Rooter.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action.
Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter.
Maybe the first shift, the opening save, the 2-on-1. Yeah. Hill made that save they needed at that time. Now, no chance, and Marner scores. He rips it home from the left side. And the Golden Knights are blowing out the Kings. It's 4-0. Less than 14 minutes in.
Under a minute. It's a 2-possession game. Bounce. James. One hand. Under. He's trying to work his way inside. A switch on defense. Now Melton takes over. Shot clock at 9. Brooks. 3. No. Rebound. Patriots skies. Got it. Ball jostled free. Shot clock at 4. Penetrating inside Gillespie. 3 defense by Golden State. The other way. Santos for the lead. Wow! A 20-5 Warrior run.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Sports 1440 at 12:39. Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Got a question from Playoff Al coming up. But first, it's time for Declinations, brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca, article, podcast, and more, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage online. And they're not waiting. They're not waiting for preseason. They're not waiting for the draft. They're on now. They are doing brilliant work. Please check it out, elksnation.ca. Now, it's time for Declinations with Declan Krueger and Josh Fenwick.
Ooh, all right, Josh, do you want to start off or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go. Number 5 for my Super Bowl prop bets, I would say take the alternate line, Seahawks minus 5.5 plus 106. I think that's a guaranteed cash.
Okay, well, nice and easy. I like it. My first one, any player to record 100 receiving yards, it's coming in at minus 40. So you're not getting great value here. It is one of the ones that, if it misses because the ball gets spread around or because the defenses really step up, you're sitting there like, why did I take it? And why did I take it at those odds? But I just look at JSN and what he's able to do in this offense. I think he's going to be relied upon heavily. I don't think it's out of the question that Steph Diggs gets 100 yards. I know he's not what he once was. He's shown up in some big moments this year. I don't want to call him a big game player, but he almost has shades of that. So yeah, listen, it's boring, but any player to record 100 receiving yards. It's not JSN specifically. It's not Steph Diggs. Any player that comes in at minus 140.
Okay.
Great pick. My number 4, Gatorade color. One of my favorite prop bets ever.
Orange.
Super Bowl specific. That is the leading one. It always seems to be orange. However, I picked blue plus 250. Both teams have blue in their logo. So if either one wins, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet.
Do you do this? Are you like a degenerate? I bet I choose Black Sox, and then you go over and do it.
No, I've actually never bet on the Super Bowl before.
Okay, there you go.
No, this year's the first year, though.
I cannot say the same. My number 4, Super Bowl MVP. This one is odds based. I have JSN. I think he's coming in at plus 600.
It's great odds.
It's kind of a quarterback award. Don't get me wrong, but JSN is going to be, with all respect to Drake May, who was my MVP this year, JSN is going to be the best player on the field. When you have the best player on the field at plus 600 odds, I think you have to take a look. So Super Bowl MVP, JSN, plus 600.
That you make perfect sense.
Especially because he has essentially what is the worst matchup too in Gonzalez guarding him. So if he can pop off, then it's like, hey, man.
And if Gonzalez doesn't shadow, you have Marcus Jones, who I've really, really like. I really like Marcus Jones as a player as well.
Yeah. So I think the secondary coverage from the Patriots, if he pops off, then yeah, that's great. My number 3, find somewhere that has the under passing yards for Drake May and hammer it. Drake May under passing yards. You might have to live bet it. I've done it before. He had 46 passing yards in the first half against the Broncos, and I get it. Snow touchdown in the second half. He only had 35 yards, and Snow wasn't on the ground until halfway through the third, I would say. It's a defense that's very similar to the Broncos. Expecting to be in a lot of pressure and just not being able to hit players at the right time or in the right stride. I say take the under.
My number 3, this is the one I love. I nuked this one. It's coming in at plus 3,300. A punt to be downed inside the 5-yard line.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's like great.
These gunners are going to be flying. They're going to be like, when you get on the field in the Super Bowl as a teamer, you have a very, very limited time on that field to make an impact. You are going to be flying down there. You are going to be doing everything you can to down that ball. Obviously, field position is going to have to play, going to have to be taken account in this. But at plus 3,300 for a punt to be down inside the 5-yard line, like nuke it.
I have to go find that. I'll include that.
Isn't that a crazy one?
That's a great one. My number 2, largest lead by any team, 14.5. Yes.
You're going to do it?
Yep.
I thought about one similar to that.
Take the yes. Just at any point, someone has to have a lead of 15 or more points.
It'd help if the Falcons were in it.
Yeah, it would. They'd have a nice little 25-point lead.
My number 2, color of the Gatorade, orange, coming in at plus 240. Josh talked about it a little bit already. I looked it up. I think the Seahawks are going to win. They generally use orange Gatorade. It is the betting favorite for the Gatorade color, which gives me a little bit of pause, but I'm still going orange Gatorade.
Yeah, it's also been orange a bunch of the last few years. It's the most common one.
I really wanted to go red because I think it had the best odds, but I could.
Red/pink does have the best odds at plus 2,400, unless Gatorade isn't dumped, in which case it's plus 7,500 or something like that.
Is that an option?
Yeah. That Gatorade doesn't get poured. Absolutely, that is an option. Okay. I think there's also a thing about orange Gatorade just like being the best for you or something like that. I don't know. They're all different. My number one, obvious. I think Deck and I both have the same number one. The coin toss. The coin toss.
It's the ultimate 50-50.
It's the most fun one.
It is the most fun one.
Because it happens right at the beginning of the game. If you win that bet, you feel so good for the rest of the thing.
And if you lose it, you just chase, and you're kind of flying doing that too.
Exactly. So I think the coin toss bet, numero uno, best prop bet of any year.
Which one? What are you taking?
Heads. I'm going to take heads.
My number one, tails at plus 100. Tails never fails, man. I'm taking tails at plus 100.
So which has the better?
It's 50-50.
Yeah, that's what I would thought.
They're both plus 100.
So why would you bet it?
Because it's fun, Al.
Yeah, we're having fun. Now, before we move on, all right, we didn't talk to Mac about this beforehand, but we got to ask her as well if there are any prop bets she's seen, how she feels about ours, things like that.
What Gatorade color do you think it's going to be, Mac?
All right, I am not much of a bettor. Still trying to figure out how it actually works. But I like the Gatorade one. I like Josh's blue because blue is the best flavor. And coin toss is good too. And Drake May under passing yards as well. I like that.
Oh, I went 3 for 5. Let's go.
Wow.
Wait. Which side of the coin?
I'm going to go heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same odds.
Hey, we're also shout out the Australian Olympic team we're watching right now. How about them fielding a Winter Olympic team?
They
Is there breakdancing this year? Where's Ray Gunn?
All of these Australian people have survived 7 million different types of poisonous snakes,
And
snakes,
spiders.
kangaroos that can punch you to death. I don't know if they've got emus down there, but they probably do.
I think they do. Koalas have
there's
chlamydia.
Stuff on the walls that can, caterpillar things. There's a dingo. There's a lot going on down there. So if they can get through all that, I think they'll be pretty good at the Olympics. Don't you think?
Yeah, sorry. I'm wondering if we're actually allowed to talk about this, even though I was the one who brought it up.
Okay.
Maybe that was my
Playoff
bad.
Al says,
That's a good point.
Hey, boys, it's Playoff Al. Lowetide, I love your show and agree with a lot of your analysis. But for the love of the hockey gourds, what is the fascination with bringing back Oilers to coach? Isn't that part of the problem with this franchise? There are competent folks outside of the old boys club. Well, I agree with you totally, but that's part of my point. If you go to the summertime, you have a large pool of candidates. The Oilers rarely do this. They say they do, but I don't know how often they do it, where you actually go and look at every possible individual who could maybe manage or coach your team, whether they have any connections to the Oilers or not. Look at everybody and then hire a guy. Now, Chiarelli came like almost immediately after getting fired. So it was the hot ticket in town and they went with him. Holland, it was telegraphed before it happened. And with Stan Bowman, it was an outlier, but there were circumstances that made him an outlier. So I think the Oilers are very traditional in their hiring of general managers, and they're not as traditional in their hiring of coaches. So they may have somebody in the wings, but I would like a full bore interview process and then pick the best available. You might get some great ideas from guys who want to come in here and ask them what they might do with the team, yada, yada, yada. It's an exchange of ideas. Now, I think Laviolette would be a good one. So I've mentioned him, but I've also mentioned other ones because honestly, it's not a point in the year where I know who the top candidates are because it's not something that would be germane, M-A-N-E, germane to what the Oilers are doing right now. Until it became an issue, And I still think that whenever these things occur, it's usually in a fit of pique, put it that way. Lowetide, I'm very worried about Team Canada, men's hockey team. Not to discount the Finns or the Swedes, the USA has a top defense and the edge in goaltending. Yes, Canada has the better skill up front. Edmonton had two best players the last 2 years. It takes everyone. Either way, some great hockey coming up. Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of worrying about Team Canada. I think there's an absolute possibility they don't win the gold. I think they'll medal, but there's a possibility they don't win the gold. But as long as they go and I'm going to sound like a dad now, but you go and you play your best, you compete your absolute best at the highest level, which is the Olympics. And then at that point, if you lose, then you have your answer, but you've competed with the best you have. And I do think that worrying about the goaltending is a sign of intelligence. Wonder if the U.S. versus Canada games will be ref like NHL playoff games. Their rules are Olympic rules, and they usually stand by them. A lot of the hijinks that you see in the NHL would be more heavily penalized. Have you guys ever had emo jerky? It's unbelievable.
I've eaten alligator before, but no emu jerky.
I've had bison and rabbit.
I've had kangaroo also.
I've had deer. Deer meat's quite good.
Yeah.
No.
The kangaroo was delicious.
Yeah, but he got a few shots in before,
Well, no, it was just set down at the table, already raw. Just had to put it on the hot stone, cook it up a bit.
Lowetide, Jack Finley on waivers. Check out the tail of the tape on that young man. He is very tall. Now, how does waivers work now? You put a guy on waivers, do you have to wait until the NHL's back because it's a roster freeze?
Can you even put a guy on waivers?
Well, I don't know.
Mac is shaking her head yes.
Okay. Well, how come Mac, who's been here 8 minutes, is now the expert on a lot of things? What the hell are we doing?
She's a very smart gal.
Well, I'm just saying that we should have been on this stuff, and we're not, because we're reading Keegan Matheson's articles about the Jays.
About Buck Martinez, Mr. Blue Jay.
A J-Dog, why did Ken Holland leave? Fired? I can't remember. No, his contract ran out. And look, not to put too fine a point on it, but if you are part of a management group that allows 2 offer sheets to be successful on young players that you are counting on, then I don't think you get to return to the office after that. I hear about all the American goaltending all the time. All 3 haven't answered the bell when it matters the most. The Kakurari birds are the most dangerous. What the hell do they do? What do they do?
You know what? I think when Declan goes for his update, you should Google it, because Brandon Googled it once upon a time. Like just a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this. They are incredibly deadly. They have this big, long talon.
What the Jesus? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. They're responsible for the most deaths to humans via birds. They're dangerous, though. They're really dangerous.
They look like big turkeys.
Yeah. Did you see the one jumping at the guy who had a shield?
No.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you find that one. That's a crazy photo.
I'm never going there.
Looks like a ninja just going straight at this guy with a shield. Because again, like I say, huge talent.
Do they go about their business like in town sort of thing? Or
no, I think they actively seek confrontation.
No, but like they're not in the wild, right? They're all penned in and safe.
No, they're in the wild.
What in the how? What the hell is Australia?
Closest thing to a dinosaur that we got. Actually, that's a lie. Alligators, crocodiles, and then the cassowaries.
Sometimes I have nightmares about hyenas.
I don't know why. They're nowhere near North America. Neither are cassowaries. What you should be worrying about is, I don't know, rattlesnakes, black widows.
Oh, no, I don't get those.
Good news, we're in Alberta. You don't have to worry about rats.
I've been radio. I've worked with rattlesnakes and black widows and all of those guys.
Okay.
All right. It's 12:54. Coming up, Steve Lansky. Did we check to make sure he's coming on?
He'll be here.
Okay. Because I was going to text him, but I didn't get a chance because my cat disconnected my computer. Now my computer's battery is on 0. And if anything happens to this computer, everything goes dead. So I've been working on that. I didn't get a chance to text Steve. That's my excuse. The dog ate my homework.
Wait,
excuse.
Don't you have your phone? Couldn't you text him from that?
Just a little less talk, a little more. No, good point. It was a terrible excuse. Okay, Lansky on the way, and more talk about the Edmonton Oilers and what to do this weekend. There's so much going on. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. Some Olympic results in the mixed doubles round robin curling. It was Great Britain over Sweden, Italy over Switzerland, and the United States over Canada. In women's ice hockey, it was Japan over France, 3-2. And more mixed doubles curling, United States over Czechia and Italy over Estonia. One final women's ice hockey prelim Group A match saw Switzerland over Czechia 4-3 in a shootout. In the NBA today, action will get going at 5:30 with the Heat and the Celtics. We'll also see the Knicks and the Pistons, and at 8, the Clippers and the Sacramento Kings. In the WHL, the Edmonton Oil Kings in action. They're playing host to the Moose Jaw Warriors, 7 p.m. puck drop down at Rogers. In the AJ, 2 games, Drumheller and Whitecourt and Camrose and Bonnyville. And in the BCHL, Spruce Grove Saints in Blackfall, 7 p.m. puck drop, and the Sherwood Park Crusaders playing host to Vernon, also at 7. News from around the sporting world. Blue Jays broadcaster Buck Martinez has announced his retirement. The Edmonton Elks have extended fullback Jacob Lamotta through the 26th season, and felony assault charges against Gavin McKenna have been withdrawn. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Friday night calls for family fun that's second to none, starting with a big party. And tonight at Rogers Place, it's the Oil Kings mascot Louie's birthday bash, presented by Bloom Benefits. Edmonton faces the Moose Jaw Warriors. Local mascots will be in the house for Louie's big day, and every fan in attendance gets a card for their chance to win a fun Louie prize. Plus, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is lion-sized. Oil Kings, Warriors, Louie's birthday bash, tonight at 7. Great family entertainment starts at just $20 a seat. Tickets and more at oilkings.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5 plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
If you manage or lead a team, join your peers April 14th to 17th at the Banff Management Course. PA Douglas Training invites you to 3 days of immersive leadership development in beautiful Banff, Alberta. Learn how to manage conflict, motivate and influence others, strengthen teamwork, and improve productivity. Proudly Canadian, PA Douglas has trained over 150,000 professionals. Registration includes 3 nights at the Banff Springs Hotel, breakfast, select meals, refreshments, and course materials. Register now at padouglas.ca.
These days, it's all about who you know. And that's why it's the perfect time to save.
at the Brick's Friends and Family Sale. Upgrade your living room in time for the big game and score free delivery on TVs over 50 inches, like a Samsung 85-inch 4K smart TV for just $999. And save up to $1,200 off sofas and sectionals. And mix and match. Save up to $1,000 off 2 or more major appliances. Some exclusions apply. Check out the Brick in Edmonton South Common, West Edmonton Mall, North Side on 137, and downtown near the Ice District.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter. Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
The Lowdown on Sports 1440, little after 1 o'clock. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We are now joined by our dear friend back off a holiday, and we always hope that our friends who take holidays have a wonderful time. And I'm sure that we're going to get a really good look at Steve Lansky, and I feel like he's been on vacation for a couple of weeks in Mexico, so we're probably looking at a creamsicle or some kind of orange color. Steve, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How come you're not on the screen?
I am. I see me.
Maybe Lowetide should update his computer. That might be an idea, you know. Anyway, so how was the holiday?
Fantastic. 14 absolutely perfect days. I can't even think of anything that went wrong.
Well, I see you now, and you look, let's see here. Who do you look like?
Yeah.
The hair really stands out now.
Yeah. It's what I do after vacation. I just kind of mess it up, and then they'll be like this for a month, and then somebody who's more important than me in this room right now will say, okay, that's enough of that. That will be the entire sentence, and then it'll go back to the normal hair.
There you go. Okay. And do you dye your hair?
I do not.
Okay.
No. You might notice that I'm wearing Lillehammer 1994 Olympic wear.
It looks fantastic. I know you are. I was waxing poetic about the Olympics and my memories going back to Nancy Green when I was a kid, and then Tyler Cranston, Beverly Boys, all the great skaters, of course, always cheering for Canada at the Olympics, especially so when the NHLers are going. So, what are you looking forward to at the Olympics this year?
I'm just totally focused on hockey. I really am, and I don't know. Men's hockey. I should be focused on both, but I'm not. I'm just focused on men's, and it's probably because of the Four Nations. I mean, that just was like, wow. And this is, hopefully going to be that on steroids. So I know Canada goes on the 12th at 8:40 in the morning, and man, I am going to be right there for every second of Canadian men's hockey action.
Here's the thing. I feel the same way. I'm totally focused on the hockey side, men's and women's. But I'm also for me, I think this is an unfair thing that is about to be made right. A player like Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or anybody from their generation who was unable, not because of their inability to play at a high level, but because of the situation with the NHL. and not going, they haven't had an opportunity to compete at this level. And I think that it's part of the lore and the resume and the legacy of each of these, not just the nation, but these players. And I can't wait to see these players who haven't had an opportunity to compete go there and play their best, no matter the result, but play their best and hopefully receive some satisfaction that scratch a niche that maybe they weren't unable to before.
It is, but don't forget, no Canadian professional hockey athletes until 1998. So anybody who, Bobby Hull, Jean Beliveau, all those guys, none of those guys got to compete. 1998 was the first time in Nagano, and I mean, what a huge disappointment that was. Gretzky on the bench for the shootout, Mark Crawford as the head coach, Dominik Hasek owning the thing for Czech Republic then, or it might have been Czechoslovakia even. But I think you're right. I don't think it's right that they don't get to play. So I just feel, I honestly, I didn't think there'd be 2 Olympic Winter Games that didn't have Olympic NHL players, but there were. So I'm with you. I'm thrilled they're back.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also this weekend, the Super Bowl. Do you have any, like everybody here, nobody would get into a fight for me because everybody's picking the Seahawks. What about you?
How could you not pick the Seahawks? I mean, there's a lot more experience there. Sam Darnold's got something to prove. I think New England's time is up. I think they've had a wonderful year. Quite frankly, I'd seen enough of New England before this year, with Tom Brady for the last 20 years owning the thing. That's what it felt like anyway. So I'd be happy if Seattle won, especially since they threw one away. I don't know what year that was. I think that was against New England, right? So they deserve a second one for sure.
I want to talk about this in 2 ways. One, the fact that pitchers and catchers are reporting next week. I'm just absolutely more engaged, and I know it's because of the Blue Jays. More engaged in the idea of baseball returning. And somebody beating the Dodgers. I think someone will this year. I don't know that it'll be the Jays. But what's your amplitude on the baseball season to come and the Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, I think I'm the same as you, and I think exactly you said it. Like, there's a tremendous amount of interest now with what the Jays did last year. I mean, before, I'm not going to lie, spring training, I was mostly focused on hockey. Now, then again, NHL is not going to be on when spring training starts, right? We're going to be in the Olympics. So I think there's a tendency there to have a little more focus on spring training. But I'm a little more focused this year. I mean, I don't know what the Jays are going to do, but holy cow, I'd love to see them come flying out of the gate. And then we'd kind of be ready for it. Where last year, I'm not sure anybody was ready for it until they got to the World Series and said, oh, wow, we're in the World Series.
Yeah, it was 1979 Expos where they won 95 games and they lost the pennant would have been Pittsburgh, like last day of the year or whatever. But it was like such a surprise and a beautiful moment. And hopefully they can capitalize on that and pull through. Buck Martinez announced his retirement today. Buck is a unique individual in that he's done a lot of media jobs and color play-by-play. He's very good in front of the camera. I think a better broadcaster than a ball player. That's not to insult him as a ball player, but he was a platoon catcher and a very good defensive one. But his mark on Toronto Blue Jays fans and the organization has been massive. And I would think, with the possible exception of there's a few, Cheek, Howarth, others, he definitely in his role, he had an impact and he did himself proud, and Jays fans as well.
Oh, he'd be right there. First off, I'm not going to say anything bad about him as a player on the field, because anybody who makes an out at a base or at the plate when your leg is broken,
yes,
that's like, wow. If you saw that in a movie, you'd go, that's crap. That would never happen.
He got 2 outs on that play because the dumbass kept running and ran right by him.
He did. I don't know if did he break his leg on the first out though? So maybe he only got 1 out with. This is something we can research. Anyway, he is. You're right. Tom Cheek, Jerry Howarth, and if you lived in Toronto like I did for that heyday, I mean, my God, those two guys were the sound of summer. Like they were the sound of summer in Toronto on the fan and radio. But Buck would be right there. I mean, unless we go way back to like Tom McKee and Don Chevrier and Tony Kubek when they started, I think I think for the time span that he was there, Buck was the face of the Blue Jays on television for sure.
Yeah, and he did a splendid job. Don't know how, like it's so difficult to get into any Oilers talk because they're 2 weeks away from playing. But while you were gone, they missed you and they didn't play well. They had an 8-game homestand that was 4 wins and 4 losses, and then they did not play well, particularly against Calgary. The fan base very upset. All kinds of talk of changing out the coach and doing things. You have been very vocal on these Edmonton Oilers and what the expectation is, and the finishing shy 2 years in a row. The goaltending has been changed out. The results are not terribly dissimilar to what they were when Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard were there. What's your thought on the coaching? Is that something that you maybe look at in the summertime, or do you think they should maybe bring back Paul Coffey or make a move?
Now, it's funny you'd say Paul Coffey because I liked him on the bench. I really did. I don't think Paul Coffey liked Paul Coffey on the bench. And I get that, but I'll tell you, you can tell Paul Coffey's not on the bench. Let's just put it that way. I didn't love Leon mentioning the coaches in his rant, whenever that was, 2-3 days ago. I didn't love that. I didn't think that was the time or the place for that. I don't have a major problem with the coaching. Now then again, I'm not in the room. So but I don't think they're making glaring mistakes on the bench, but it's not something we can know being on the outside. But to me, that might not be the first thing I'd look at personally.
Yeah, for me, I think that there are, there are coaching issues, I'm sure, but there's also execution and coverage issues that are, like no coach can tell Jake Wallman to, cover the guy who could get a breakaway shorthanded. That's got to be incumbent on you as a player to be able to have your head on a swivel. So I think they're just exhausted from the number of games they've played, but it has been a grueling schedule for every NHL team, not just the Oilers this year.
Oh, dude, that pace of play or schedule, that's insane because I knew it was going to be compressed. But when the season started, I'm like, oh my God, they're playing every second night. They played one night in Edmonton this week, then the next night in Calgary. Like, it's not unprecedented, I'm sure, but my God, it feels unprecedented. And that can't be good for your psyche, for you physically. I mean, it's great because everybody but Connor and Leon get 25 days off or whatever it is. I don't think that's going to be a bad thing. But holy cow, I mean, this is just I've never seen anything compressed like that. Even the Stanley Cup playoffs aren't compressed like that. They used to be a little bit, but they aren't anymore. But this is, I can see where it might create a problem as we get to the playoffs with injuries. I really can.
Yeah, I just think that the NHL, they gave in. They gave the Olympics the go ahead, but there was a price to pay for the players. I mean, they didn't reduce the schedule. They didn't really extend it, the year that much. And I don't know, man. For me, the NHL is at a point now where everybody gets along. And maybe the next time they have an Olympic year, they could start like a week and a half early and make the schedule less daunting for the players. I think that would be okay.
I just think it's crazy. I mean, to me, in a perfect world, 70 games would be great. If you had 70 games, that would kind of solve this problem. But of course, we all know they're never going back, even though they should. But I guess they went back from 84 to 82. How long ago was that? 15 years, maybe something like that.
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, they took the neutral site games out. But if you can manufacture 70, to me that would be perfect. But I think you're right. They might have been better off to start the season 10 days earlier and do something because this is just I'm actually shocked at it. Not much shocks me anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. I think what you said was absolutely fair. So listen, let me ask you. You look very relaxed. You look like a learned senator just coming back from holidays. So did you have a nice time in Zihuatanejo?
It was lovely. Every day was 29 degrees and sunny. It was like it wasn't Groundhog Day because Groundhog Day had some bad elements. There was just nothing bad about it. It was just breakfast, pool, lunch, pool, dinner, and then we watched The Diplomat on TV. I don't know if you've seen The Diplomat. Pretty good. Kerry Russell won a Golden Globe for the third season of it. And now we just went back and spooled up the Kaminsky Method. I don't know if you've seen that with Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas, but that was rock solid towards the end of the trip. So the trip was just absolutely glorious. I can't think of any other way to say it.
Was it a swim up pool? Like with a swim up bar?
No swim up bar, but it's an infinity pool. And when you go to the edge, I can post a picture if you want. When you go to the edge, you're basically just looking at the vast expanse of the ocean with rocks and an iguana. And
I need a pool where if I jump into it, the photographs make me look like I'm about 180 pounds. Do you have one of those?
So do you ever have that thing where so many funny things go through your head, but you think, I literally can't say any of those funny things?
Yes.
I can't say any of those funny things.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those pools, but I'll tell you what, if you invented it, you'd probably you'd be a billionaire.
Yeah. Well, you look so relaxed. I hope I didn't send you in any anxiety direction because you look like, I mean, if you had a white cat and you were petting it, you could be in a Bond film right now.
Yes, I could. No, I'm very relaxed. We got back. This was intentional before the Olympics started. So I'm watching the opening ceremony right now, and then it's just going to go right into 16 days of nothing but watching Canada win gold medals, which I can get quite used to.
All right. Well, don't forget to drink water. You've got to, make sure that you're getting all your elements.
Oh man, you sound like that person in the room with me right now. I will do that.
All right. Be good. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. I'll take care.
There you go. Our friend Steve Lansky, who is on holiday and is now back off holidays and taking part in the Olympics. Now, that's a guy who in the next 2.5 weeks is going to hear the word repechage at least 500 times. And that's okay. Okay, we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl all ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at Dr. Vance Elliott.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
GMC Buick, check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com. Morris says, fact, Lowetide. Holland was gone when offer sheets came in. You don't know what he would have gotten done in the month or more between him leaving and the offer sheet. Okay, well, look, the die was cast. Philip Broberg asked for a trade, I'm going to say, late November, early December that year. And the Oilers had a long time to get those contracts done, like a year before or more to get those contracts done. Broberg was the most frustrated because he can get on the ice. The Oilers drafted him and then slow played him and then did their best to block his career. And he felt like, he didn't like that. So the Edmonton Oilers under Ken Holland did a lot of very good things. Zach Hyman, I will give Holland credit for the one Stanley Cup final and really a big portion of the credit for the second Stanley Cup final. But that particular event, the fracture of the relationship, in my opinion, just my opinion, I'm so far from being connected to the Edmonton Oilers, it's silly, but in my opinion, that is probably what did it. And you can get mad at Jeff Jackson for signing the free agents on July 1. I get that because it didn't allow him to match the offer sheets. So there's blame to go there. And you can get mad at Stan Bowman if you want because he didn't match the offer sheet. But the die was cast, the genesis, the beginning of the disastrous process happened under Ken Holland. And I'm completely confident in saying that. And I, you can push back all you want, but I'm not going to change my mind. By the way, I went at 5:20 today with Jason Krueger, but at 4 o'clock today, Stubby Clapp, he'd be one of the coaches for Team Canada at the World Baseball Championships, which is just coming up. I've got my Blue Jays jersey on. I should be wearing an Expos jersey. This is me being a traitor, but I don't have an Expos jersey. I should get one. If they ever come back, we're doing a month's worth of shows in Montreal on St. Catherine Street.
On whose budget?
I'll cash some RSPs. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
I'll have that happening.
Got bad news for you, though.
What's
They're
that?
never coming back.
You're hurting me.
Hey, you know what? Would you rather white lies or harsh truths?
White lies.
Too bad. You get harsh truths.
Lowetide, of course you're right. I will read those always. To reference the Leon comment of the coach, don't think much on it. However, we do all remember when Connor said they were beating their heads against the wall over and over. Maybe there is something there from Jay. Yeah, look, I talk to an athlete who is frustrated after a loss, and you're going to get some, you're going to get some verbal that you might be able to use, and it may send you in some directions. But, look, I wasn't pleased when they let Jay Woodcroft go. I thought Jay Woodcroft was a really good coach. But, that happens. It moves on. Chris Knobloch took them to the final and then took them to the final again. That has to count for something. And he has not found the answers. And that is a big deal. But, how long do you linger in a relationship that has been productive for you when things are a little rocky? That's what this is about. It's like when to divorce. I'm reasonably certain that Chris Knobloch will not coach the Edmonton Oilers into the next century. So at some point in time, the relationship will end. I just respectfully don't believe the time to do that is now. Buck Martinez is the only announcer I know of who excelled as a play-by-play man, a color commentator, and a middleman in a three-man booth. Legend. He really was adaptable. And I think his key, because I'm a broadcaster, I like to think I know this stuff, and maybe I do and maybe I don't. But I think Buck had the kind of personality that allowed him to come off as both an expert, which I think he is. Catchers see everything, and they're, I think, brighter than outfielders. And then the other side of it is that he was able to suppress his ego and allow others to flourish when he was in the play-by-play role. And not everybody can do that. LT, I'm sorry, it's not best on best without the Russians. Well, that's a conversation we can have, but it's not really a hockey conversation that has us here. So Ken could have signed Holloway and Broberg. Nothing says it has to go to offer sheets. Complete mismanagement. It's been mismanagement for the day Connor was drafted. Well, John, I remember they made the trade for Griffin Reinhart about an hour after McDavid was drafted. I've written about it many times. And I think that the die was cast from that moment, certainly from the moment Taylor Hall was traded. Peter Chiarelli's time here was not going to be successful. When Ken Holland took over, he did, I think, quite quickly, considering the pandemic, he did improve the team, and it was a better team. And his goal was to make the Stanley Cup final, and he did it. And then the team did it again in the year without him, or after he left. but it was mostly his team. Now it's Stan Bowman's turn. Stan Bowman has a little bit of an opportunity here, disguised as a crisis. What is he going to do about it? There are some interesting options for the GM aside from firing the coach, which I think is a bad idea. They could add a coach. You could add a Paul Coffey or a Craig McTavish or somebody else. You could also stop playing veterans who are not being productive. And that's Matthias Janmark, who I like as a player a lot, but he might not be, 100%. Hopefully he could get back to previous levels by the playoffs. I think that the coach and Andrew Mangiapane are not on the same page. When Mangiapane does play, the role he's playing is not one that is conducive to success. And I think that Trent Frederick is coming along, but he has not been a productive player. Now, the Oilers have a 23-year-old kid named Josh Szymanski, who's come up here from the Bakersfield Condors, playing in the Olympics with the German hockey team in the next couple of weeks. But he's outplayed those veterans, and I think there's a window of opportunity here to run Jack Roslovic, who I wrote about in The Athletic today, young Szymanski, and young Matt Savoy on a third line, and then put Curtis Lazar with Trent Frederick. They played well in a small sample on the fourth line, and then find your right winger. I don't know who it would be, but Quinn Hudson might be a candidate, or Robbie Yervente. You don't have to go outside the organization. You can recall those cats. You can do it. Now, when Henrique gets back, they're going to have to make a decision. But it doesn't have to involve putting Curtis Lazar on the bench. Lazar has earned his playing time, and Henrique should be forced to eat his lunch, earn his playing time back, because Lazar has played well. So I think that that's what they should do. They should let Lazar play until Henrique passes him. The idea that veterans play in front of the kids or players like Lazar, who's not established with the team, I think that that's an easy call for the coach. And maybe the manager can insist on that. If you're playing Janmark over Lazar, if you're playing Henrique over Lazar, and if you're playing if you're playing Lazar without Frederick, I don't understand that either. I certainly don't understand that healthy scratches. But I think that it's easy to be overly critical of the coach, and certainly now. But I think he's finding some answers. I believe that sincerely, and I think he's a smart guy. I know you're mad, but I did the same thing when you were mad at Stuart Skinner. So I'm going to keep pushing back. I know you think you have all the answers, but I don't know that you have all the information on who's hurt or whatever the case may be. When this team started this year, there were some problems. And I do think that the coach, with respect, sort of ignored what was given to him by the general manager and ran McDavid and Draisaitl together on a top line, and that really derailed the summer. It really did. They were adding wingers for 3 lines, and they didn't get that. But they built back from that. They have Nugent Hopkins with McDavid and Hyman. They were stale as they took the break. Maybe you want to mix them up, but that line worked quite well in the first 58 or whatever games. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen works like a hot damn, and that's the truth. And this Roslovic line with Szymanski and Savoy, maybe they got lightning in a bottle. It's not the line I thought would be here. I thought Howard would be here. I thought Hudson might be here. But Szymanski seems to be making some sense. And then the fourth line is just beginning to cobble together with Szymanski and Lazar. I'm on record as saying that I think these pairings, I know many of you do not like them, but these pairings are starting to come around. They are. Certainly the top pairing has been good. I think Nurse Wallman have been okay, but will be better if Wallman can just stay healthy. And that third pair, there's single events that have caused people to get angry about the third pair. And I get that and I understand it. But if you look at the 10,000 feet situation, that pairing has done pretty good work at 5-on-5. And we are getting enough sample for us to be able to say, hey, Spencer Stashny with Ty Emberson is something we might be able to go to war with. I don't have to read the comments. I know they're coming in, but they played 180 minutes together. They're 60% goal share, 6-4, and they're 51% expected goal share. For a third pairing, compared to what the Oilers have been running out there in the past, I think that's something you continue. You keep going with those guys. They're learning each other's habits, and I also think Wallman and Nurse are going to be coming along. They're almost at 50% now. They're getting there, and that's at 5-on-5. And then Evan Bouchard and Jake Wallman, they did have a hiccup. Or, I'm sorry, Matthias Ekholm. They did have a hiccup not too terribly long ago, but for the year, they played like 871 minutes together, so they play a lot. And they're at 52% goal share, 56% expected. Those are numbers that you can say, okay, we may have to improve in some areas. I think the third and fourth line do need work, but I think they're finding the genesis of the answer. A kernel of answer is there. And now we have to talk about the goaltending, but I reminded you yesterday, and I'll remind you today. When everybody was mad at Stuart Skinner, one of the concerns that I had was spending a lot of assets getting a goaltender under contract for next year and maybe not improving the team. And I'm not saying that's what happened, because I don't think we've had enough of a sample size to say that about Tristan Jarry. And I do like Tristan Jarry and Connor Ingram as a tandem entering the playoffs, but everybody was so convinced that Stuart Skinner was the problem. And now we are here. And I think that even the most stubborn of fans can admit that maybe Stuart Skinner wasn't the problem that people thought that he was. I hope so anyway. All right. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
If you're selling a vehicle, Sherwood Honda really wants to get your goat. We mean greatest offer of all time. Consign with Sherwood Honda, and they can sell your vehicle for you. All breeds, makes, and models, not just Hondas. You can let Sherwood Honda lock horns with those tough negotiators, and you'll reach the interested buyers that flock to Sherwood Honda every day. Sherwood Honda's the GOAT of selling vehicles, including yours. So someone Sherwood...
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com, into the final segment. We were just kind of blue skying ideas here about how we wanted to finish the show today. And we thought, since Mackenzie is new, maybe we could ask her some questions, kind of get to know you questions, and not to embarrass her, but I've done this for every producer who has ever worked on my show, and they all end up being embarrassed, so it'll just naturally occur anyway. So let me start, and Declan may ask you a question.
Tell us a little about you, Mac.
Let me ask you a little bit about your mom and dad, and where you live and where you grew up.
Okay. Well, my parents are divorced, so I have a stepmom and a stepdad.
So you have two families.
I do.
Nice.
They both are big. I have step siblings on both sides, and then two brothers.
Are you in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, I'm the oldest on my mom's side,
Right.
and then I have an older stepsister on my dad's side,
Okay.
and then a younger stepsister on my dad's side, and a younger stepsister on my mom's side.
Sounds like that, there's enough women in this family to do some real harm if the guys do anything dumb.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably the strongest personality out of all of them.
All right. And are you like a leader? Are you like, if you were going to use your power for good, could you get things done in the family?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. At
All right.
school, I got called captain and lieutenant a lot because I'd take the reins.
Are you like an organizer type?
No, I'm mostly like, if nobody's going to step up, somebody has to. So.
All right. So would you consider yourself to be an inspiring person? Like you can inspire people to do things, or more of a cajoler?
Yeah, I'm more of a control freak
Okay.
in that sense. So,
all right.
Yeah.
This is, and I'm going to let Declan ask it the next question, but if your dream job, or do you know what it might be in media yet? Are you still kind of sussing out the situation?
I'm still kind of sussing it out, but I really, really look up to like Leah Hextall and Emily Kaplan. I think they're so awesome. And like Kat Ellis. I don't know if you know her. She's on the Avs broadcast a lot.
Right. Yeah. The Seattle broadcast, Allison L does a brilliant job as well.
All right, let's really get to know Mackenzie. Could you land a plane in an emergency with direction from the control tower? This is question one. I got a few.
You know what? I'm going to say yes.
That's right.
Because I feel like I can stay pretty calm in situations. And like running an airplane, is it much different than running the control board? It's just a bunch of buttons.
Well, there's
and
the
like
whole
switches.
You're 10,000 feet in the air thing,
Yeah.
but other than that, this is the same.
All right, question number 2. Like I said, got a few of them. Really getting to know the person. You are dropped in to the middle of a random country with no phone, no passport. How long does it take for you to get back home to Canada?
That's a good question. I think I'd just find the embassy. Yeah, but you go there and you tell them and usually they figure it out pretty quickly, if it's actually you or not.
She's way smarter than we
Right?
are, guys. That's very, very good thinking.
Wait, how much money do we have in our pockets?
You got no money, no
money.
phone, no passport.
No, you
Where-
go to the
where am I
embassy and you
stranded?
tell them you're Canadian.
Anywhere.
And they'll,
Anywhere. Well, it's different. If I'm stranded in Mexico, I just start walking.
All right, let's ask a very important question. We've had our fun. What do you want to do here at Sports 1440?
I think I want to do social media. I just got to get out there a little bit more and pitch my ideas a little bit more because I have them. I'm just sometimes scared to say them. So I just need to be a little bit more confident.
We ain't saying no. That's for
listen,
sure.
Don't ever be scared of anything, for sure. Now, your boyfriend plays for the Riverhawks, correct? Coach for the Riverhawks. So could you still get him on the show for us?
Yes. He is not with them anymore, but we still have left.
Mutual parting of ways.
But we still have a lot of our friends are still there. And they're all coaching. So one of them, he played overseas, which is really cool in Stockholm. Where else did he go? I think he went to Germany. He went to Australia and played baseball, which is cool. And then another guy that's with the Riverhawks, he's from New Zealand and he has some really fun stories.
All right, Lowetide, I got one final one. You cool with this?
Oh, of course.
All right, you're Desert Island. You get one movie, one book, one album, and one sports highlight that you all get on repeat. You could expand that to one sporting game or event if you would like. What are you choosing for those 4 categories?
Okay, movie, book, album, and sporting event or game or whatever. Movie, I need something that's feel good that I could laugh at. Maybe we talked about this on Fantasy Frenzy.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Probably Superbad because it's funny and the plot isn't really bad or dumb or anything like that. And it has all good actors. Album, probably Reputation by Taylor Swift. That's one of my favorites of all time.
Not your survey, Josh. You
I
don't have to
I'm just shaking my head at the Taylor Swift thing.
Or I could go Fine Line by Harry Styles. That album also, I have a tattoo from it. And then book. What did I just read? That was really, really good. I like a good thriller. So anything like that. And sport moment. This is all going to be recency bias. Or because we're it's the Olympics, it's the time of year. Yeah. So I'm going to say gold medal game 2010, Sidney Crosby.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very nice. I have a question for you about the Riverhawks. Can you get us some of that swag? Because it's really cool looking stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. They did donate some tickets to a promotion we did at Nate last year.
Nice.
So
nice. I got to spend some time with them. They're good people. I know Dale a million years ago.
I actually have one final one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be on air or do you feel awkward and out of place and embarrassed when we put you in a situation such as this?
I don't mind it. Definitely my first couple times I was super, super nervous, but I feel the more I'm in here, the more comfortable I get. So I don't feel super out of place.
When you were in broadcast school at Nate, did you do any voice training at all? Or because you are one of the more refined voices that I've heard coming out of Nate that I've worked with. You already one of the ways you could probably make a lot of money in this industry is reading commercials. And it's very rare that I hear somebody's voice in this environment that I think that way. Have you done voice training?
I have not, but actually our advertising instructor also told me that, because obviously we voice all of our own commercials at Nate and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, I most of what I will tell you is just complete gobbledygook, but there is a tremendous opportunity, specifically for women, to do voice work. So it might be something that down the line you put together a resume and send out to various folks who do production, because I think you could do very well in that area.
thank you. I'll have to look into that.
All right. So is there an opening? Final question from me. Is there an opportunity for us to get all of your siblings here to do a 1-hour interview about your life, so that we can really kind of focus in and drill down on exactly what kind of leader you are in that group?
I don't think so. We're all getting older, so everybody's busy with their own lives, and we're all in very differing parts of the province as well.
I'd be interested in knowing, like, what is there anybody else in any way related to, like, in terms of the industry they're trying to step into, related to what you do?
Like in my family?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was the same way. I could have really used some connections early in my life, and I didn't get them from any family member, which absolutely sucks. You should know, and you might not know, that Declan's sister will eventually be the Prime Minister of Canada. So Declan is a good guy to get to know and to be good to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that front of mind.
Josh, do you remember your convo? Did we do a?
We did not do one of these. No.
Oh, so I was thinking about that. I usually wait a little while, and so the next time that the opportunity arises.
No, that's okay. I think everyone's getting to know me quite well.
I was going to say,
over the last
8
months.
I would like to know how often your mom asks you about your hair.
Not often.
Okay.
I don't like. We don't see each other face to face.
No, but I'm complaining about your hair a lot. I'm hoping that.
Yeah, but again, she can't see any photos of it or anything.
Right,
so,
okay.
like, again, I'm not on camera, so I'm sort of blessed that way.
Why is it that we don't have you on camera? That to me is a big. It's not like you're a pleasant enough looking fellow.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Quite frankly, I forget the reason. We were waiting for an HDMI cord or something like that never got brought around.
Is this Declan kind of sabotaging you?
No, because the thing is
this would
that
be
camera
Declan sabotaging himself.
Yeah, because like that camera would also be on me for Gregor's show, which is double the length of this show, right?
Right.
So it's like,
however, I'm on Carius.
yes, yeah, you actually have more total time. You're right.
So are we doing this now? Are we looking at the total camera time?
Well, it's like,
is this going to be another?
He would
Carmelo?
still trump me in total camera time. Let's be clear here.
Yeah.
Man.
But like, how many, like, what's the reaction? Because your reaction time, people might react more positively to you.
No, people definitely would react more positively to Big Deck over there. Also, I'm on camera for Hoop City every once in a while.
Unreal show, by the way.
Saturday, 10 to 12. The recently now free agent Ben Golliver joining us for this week's deep dive to break down the trade deadline.
Cliff 77, Lowetide, weren't you going to update us on the Condors? Yeah, I did on the blog today, and I was going to pass along some things. Robbie Yerventi, who they acquired for Xavier Bourgault, he's really coming on. He would probably be a candidate for the next recall. Ike Howard is too good for the AHL. I don't know that they're going to call him back this year because he's got some things that they want him to work on in terms of play away from the puck. But as an offensive player, I think he's there. He just needs the opportunities. And when they do call him up, I think they have to put him in a position to succeed. There are others. Quinn Hudson, we've talked about at length. He's more of a two-way type. I think he's got a bigger future. Viljami Marhala is really coming on after, say, the first 20 games or so. This is a guy who has real skill. I liked his passing early, but his shooting has become more of a factor, and he's at 0.91 points per 60 out of the box in the AHL. And then Szymanski, we've talked about at length. He's really good. A player I'm going to write about this weekend, a defenseman named Damian Carfagna, is also really showing well. I don't know that he's going to play in the NHL this year, but I suspect he's not a big defenseman, but he's also not undersized, but he's a terrific skater and he moves the puck very well. Those are the players that I talked about. And obviously Connor Unger, who is just playing exceptionally well. I don't think he's going to play this year in the NHL with the Oilers, but I think that he's on his way to building a hell of a resume and may eventually get that opportunity. Wow, great timing. All right. Well, I enjoyed that. Final time. Super Bowl coming up this weekend. We are 4 for 4. Everybody's picking the Seahawks. So if the Patriots win Monday, how many of us are going to show up?
All of us.
Yeah.
Right. You know, 3 of the 4 of us in this room are paid to be here, and the 4th one paid to come here.
The other thing is, like,
nobody's supposed to know I pay to come here. Thanks. Yes.
Sorry, man.
Yes, Deck?
No, I was just going to say, Monday after the Super Bowl should be a holiday. If we can all
you
agree,
say that
right?
about a March Madness. People wouldn't work if they had your rules. Thanks for tuning in. Jason is up next. Enjoy your weekend.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right, homes and businesses. Visit the new showroom, 11577 149th Street, 6 days a week, Saturday hours 10 to 2. Or visit customfloorsinc.ca and bring your next flooring project to life. Some Olympic results from earlier in today. Mixed doubles curling was Italy over Switzerland in the round robin. United States over Canada as well. United States over Czechia in session 6, and Italy over Estonia in session 6 as well. It was Japan over France in women's ice hockey 3-2, and it was Switzerland over Czechia in a shootout 4-3. NBA schedule today gets going at 5:30 with the Heat and Celtics, Knicks and Pistons as well at 8, the Clippers and the Sacramento Kings. WHL action sees the Edmonton Oil Kings playing host to the Moose Jaw Warriors at 7 o'clock. In the AJ Drumheller and Whitecourt, Camrose and Bonnyville, both games at 7 tonight. In the BCHL, Sherwood Park playing host to Vernon at 7 at the Sherwood Park Arena. And the Spruce Grove Saints on the road in Black Falls to take on the Bulldogs. 7 p.m. puck drop for both of those games. I'm Declan Krueger. Up next is the Jason Gregor Show with Connor Halley, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.